Gimbal stabilizers are the ultimate tool for camera movement, freeing you to move the camera however you want to. Or at least that's what I used to think. Now I've had the chance to work with a few, I've realised they do have their limitations. So here are 10 practical tips to get the best out of a camera movement gadget like this one. Oh, and full disclosure, I was sent this gimbal, the Xeon Crane, but they haven't paid me or had any other involvement with the episode. So the first obstacle preventing us from using the most creative camera moves is our body, which is why tip number 1 is to walk carefully. Although gimbals are pretty good at smoothing out whatever movements we try, that freedom is both a blessing and a curse. Take this shot, we're moving forwards and it's pretty smooth. But if we look closely, we can see the camera is also moving up and down a bit. It's not locked down on a track, so it won't go in a perfectly straight line. Now, we might actually prefer that more casual handheld look, but if we do want to straighten things out so it looks more conventionally cinematic, we can try locking our arms in and taking small steps with our knees bent. Tip number 2 is to use wheels. If we really want it to be straight, especially at speeds faster or slower than walking pace, then it's often helpful to ride a bike, car, wheelchair, skateboard, really anything with wheels. Because for me at least, I can't move the camera slowly and steadily by hand. Whereas the wheels help us move at a consistent speed and the gimbal will smooth out any vibrations from the ground. Number 3, keep everything as lightweight as possible. It's better for the motors and also your arms, trust me. I use a really small lens, get rid of the big battery and record audio separately so I don't need a microphone on top of the camera. But even so, it feels heavy by the end of the day, so it's worth getting a quick release adapter to put on a tripod or a light stand. Then we attach the plate on the bottom and now we don't have to hold the rig between takes. And while it's on the tripod, tip 4 is to use it for very, very smooth panning or tilting. You could even pair it with a slider for some different looks. So once we've practiced walking smoothly and reduced muscle fatigue, the next thing holding us back from expressing ideas visually is time. So tip number 5 is quick release. There's never enough time on set, so we do not want to waste it whenever we take the camera off to change the battery. Putting it back means rebalancing it, which can take anywhere up to 5 minutes once you've had some practice. So if we get another quick release adapter and attach it between the camera and the gimbal, then we only need to balance it once. From now on, we can take the camera off, switch the battery, and just clip it back exactly where it was before. We'll be set for the whole day, unless of course we decide to change lenses. Tip number 6, because of that quick release setup from before, we can also use it to switch the camera between the gimbal and the tripod, without needing to spend any time rebalancing. So we've avoided the big time wasters. But the next thing stopping us from using motion for emotion is focus. You can't touch the focus ring while it's on the gimbal, so that can be pretty limiting. On a big budget, people just use wireless systems to pull focus remotely. Or people might buy a camera with autofocus. And these days there are actually a few decent ones out there. But for the rest of us, there are still some things we can do. Like closing down your aperture, which is tip number 7. That'll give us some space to move before things go blurry. It works especially well on a wider lens. Tip 8 is that as long as we keep an equal distance from our subject, then we won't need autofocus. Leading shots like these will work, or following behind, and of course, orbiting shots. Tip 9 is to set your focus for the most important part of the movement, and then let it go a bit blurry either before or after that. It doesn't work for everything, but it's certainly worth a try. And finally, once we can walk smoothly, without muscle fatigue, without wasting time or missing any focus marks, the only thing holding us back is our minds. And that's the hardest thing to address. With these gimbals, it's really tempting to just move the camera all the time, constantly changing direction. But to actually think about why we're moving the camera, and to make decisions based on how we want the audience to feel and what we want them to see, that is a much bigger obstacle that I don't think we can tackle in one simple 10 tips episode. All that anyone can do is study films and try and choose the most suitable camera movements based not just on intellect, but also instinct. My name's Simon Cade, this has been DSLR Guide, and I'll see you next week.